so the Vanguard mirror is pretty great right now. You both have access to scout dogs, and things like Hornet, Dog, and Lancer rushes are weak enough now where you don't really have to worry about them. Like right here, my opponent goes for a 1-base Hedgehog rush, and a quick wall-in at the front prevents him from coming in. But this doesn't mean that the early game is just 8 minutes of macroing up, because you can still punish overly greedy players by putting on a little bit of pressure. In this game, I put pressure on with an early Lancer, and it ends up reducing the effectiveness of my opponent's fast expand. And defenses aren't so strong where you can expand willy-nilly without getting punished. And the last piece of the puzzle, map control and vision are incredibly powerful. Here my opponent almost entirely gives up map control and vision, and when I see him move out, I simply walk in and kill him, cutting away from his army because of course I have vision, and destroying all his buildings as I go. So yes, the match will end pretty quickly if you don't play it properly, but let's look instead at where this all leads us. Map control and vision are super important, so there's a lot of skirmishing that goes on at all stages of the game, but you also have expansions when both skirmishing armies reach a standoff. And as far as I can tell so far, skipping straight to the late game by teching up generally doesn't play out very well. Your army is going to be too small, which means you'll lose map control, and that means your opponent's going to be able to end the game. So instead, what we're seeing right now is a slow progression through the game where both players skirmish for map control and slowly take expansions and tech when it's safe to do so, giving you an early, mid, and late game skirmish phase with 3 different groups of units. You have dogs and lancers, then exos and medtechs, and then exos, medtechs, and atlases. And you'll specifically want medtechs against atlases because they have a pretty nifty ability. That's Nanoswarm, and it does tremendous damage to mechanical units over quite a long period of time. And that's why I have high hopes for Stormgate. Even though they're still in closed beta, I'm already having games with constant action and a slow progression to different types of unit compositions. The person who can skirmish better in that phase of the fight generally wins the match, and if it's evenly matched, you move on to the next phase of the game with another base, a little bit more tech, and a different composition of units to skirmish with, really testing out a player's skill with basically the entire roster. Now, I don't know how long this style of play is gonna last, but man does it make for an incredibly fun mirror matchup.
Time to save lives. Wouldn't they be surprised?
Lay it on me.